Why would the Atlanta Falcons restructure Darnell Mooney's contract just days before the season opener if they weren't planning something big? The timing of this move, reported by Field Yates, should have every Falcons fan asking the same question. I'm asking right now, what exactly is Terry Fontenot preparing for that requires an immediate $6 million in cap relief? Let's be crystal clear about what just happened here. Contract restructures don't happen in a vacuum, especially not this close to the regular season. When a front office creates $6 million in cap space by moving money around on a player's deal, it's because they've identified an opportunity or need that requires financial flexibility. This isn't about general housekeeping. This is about positioning the organization to make a move. The Mooney restructure itself makes perfect sense from a player relationship standpoint. We're talking about a 28-year-old receiver who signed a 3-year, $39 million deal with $26 million fully guaranteed just this past offseason. He's been a model professional throughout training camp and preseason, and rewarding that kind of reliability with a restructure that helps both sides is exactly the kind of move that builds trust and goodwill with your veteran players. But here's what's keeping me up at night. $6 million in cap relief doesn't just magically appear because you want to be cautious about potential injuries. That's significant money. The kind of financial flexibility that allows you to claim players off waivers, make mid-season trades, or absorb contracts that other teams are looking to shed. When you create that kind of space right before the season starts, it's because you're actively working on something specific. Think about the timing for a second. We're literally days away from facing Tampa Bay in our season opener, and instead of focusing solely on game preparation, our front office is restructuring contracts to create cap room. That suggests there are ongoing conversations or negotiations that could require immediate financial maneuvering, and frankly, that has me more excited than nervous. Mooney's journey to this point has been nothing short of impressive. For years, at Tulane, where he earned second-team all-conference honors, followed by getting drafted by Chicago in the 5th round, he worked his way up from a developmental prospect to a legitimate NFL receiver, and now he's positioned to be a key part of our offensive attack alongside Drake London and Kyle Pitts. The financial structure of his current deal tells you everything you need to know about how we value his contributions. $39 million over 3 years with $26 million guaranteed isn't the kind of contract you give to a role player. That's starter money for a receiver you expect to be a consistent contributor throughout the life of the deal. The fact that we're now restructuring it suggests we're committed to keeping him happy and productive for the long haul. What makes this restructure particularly intriguing is how it might impact our ability to make other roster moves. We've already been active in the trade market, acquiring Michael Jarrell from Seattle and bringing back Jordan Fuller after initially cutting him. The pattern suggests our front office is being aggressive about optimizing this roster, and having additional cap flexibility only enhances those opportunities. The $6 million in savings also provides insurance against the unexpected costs that inevitably arise during an NFL season. Injuries happen, performance issues emerge, and sometimes you need to make quick decisions about claiming players or making trades to address immediate needs. Having that financial cushion means we're not handcuffed by cap constraints if opportunities present themselves. From Mooney's perspective, this restructure probably represents additional security and a vote of confidence from the organization. When a team is willing to move money around to help both sides, it usually indicates they view that player as a long-term part of their plans rather than someone who might be expendable if circumstances change. The timing also coincides perfectly with Michael Penix Jr. taking over as our starting quarterback. Having financial flexibility as a young quarterback begins his first full season makes sense from a roster construction standpoint. If Penix shows he can be our franchise player, we want to be in position to surround him with the kind of talent that maximizes his development and our competitive window. What's particularly smart about this move is how it maintains our ability to be opportunistic throughout the season. The NFL landscape changes rapidly. Players become available, injuries create needs, and sometimes the best moves happen when you least expect them. Having $6 million in cap space means we can act quickly when those opportunities arise, instead of having to create space through other roster moves. The restructure also sends a message to the rest of the team about how we treat players who perform at a high level and conduct themselves professionally. Mooney has been everything we could have asked for since signing with Atlanta: reliable, productive, and a positive presence in the locker room. Taking care of him financially reinforces the kind of culture we're trying to build. Looking ahead to the season opener against Tampa Bay, having this financial flexibility resolved allows our coaching staff and front office to focus entirely on football matters rather than contract negotiations or cap management. Sometimes the best moves are the ones that eliminate distractions and allow everyone to concentrate on winning games. The $6 million savings could also be crucial if we encounter any significant injuries early in the season. Being able to quickly add veteran help or claim players off waivers without worrying about cap implications gives us a competitive advantage that many teams don't have, especially as we get deeper into the season and cap situations become tighter. League-wide, this restructure represents exactly the kind of proactive roster management that championship organizations employ. We're not waiting for problems to rise. We're creating solutions before we need them and positioning ourselves to take advantage of opportunities that other teams might not be able to pursue. The relationship building aspect can't be overlooked either. When you take care of players financially, especially in ways that benefit both sides, it creates loyalty and trust that can pay dividends in recruiting future free agents and maintaining a positive locker room culture. What do you think this restructure is setting us up for, Falcons fans? Are we preparing for a big move, or is this just smart financial management ahead of a long season? Drop your predictions in the comments below and smash that like button. If you love seeing our front office being proactive about creating opportunities rather than just reacting to problems, sometimes the most important moves happen behind the scenes, and this restructure might be laying the groundwork for something special.